Case number 23 CR 206, State of Ohio versus Trinity Rhiann Rickman. Present for the state's Assistant Prosecuting Attorney King. Present on behalf of defendant's attorney Jacob Wagner. And you are Trinity Rhiann Rickman?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Rickman is charged with possession of a fentanyl-related compound, a 5th-degree felony. This matter is set for pretrial. And I have received a motion, I believe, for intervention of conviction. And also there's been presented the stipulated questions. And so the court will order that the defendant be referred to the probation department for evaluation for substance use and or mental health disorder to determine if that was a factor in the conduct that's involved. And you are you currently in treatment, and where is that?
Reach.
All right, in Reach.
South Street.
All right. And so what will happen, you'll need to go down to the probation department, I guess you were there earlier, tell Mr. Arjima that the motion's been filed, and they'll have to do an evaluation and get a release from Reach to fill out the paperwork and so forth, and we'll set this for hearing on March 21st at 2 p.m. So you will not have to be here for your February 29th trial date. That's vacated. The bailiff here will give you an assignment notice. You have one there? You have the assignment notice there?
I have it. I haven't filled it out.
Yeah, right, okay. She'll give you that, you sign that, so you'll remember when to be here next time, and then go down to probation as soon as you sign that to get the appointment to do the intervention interview. Anything further, counsel?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
I know you've been taking in touch with everybody, but just if your number changes, let my office know.
All right, what is your name there appearing from the jail?
Trey Dance, Your Honor.
All right. All right, this is case number 24 CR 13, State of Ohio versus Trenton R. Hibbs. And let's see, Ms. Furman, are you representing Mr. Hibbs?
I am, Your Honor.
All right. This hearing is a Zoom hearing for arraignment, remote arraignment. Mr. Hibbs is at the Highland County Justice Center. The defendant was indicted on February the 6th on a charge of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, a third-degree felony. And Ms. Ferguson, has your client had a copy of the indictment for more than 24 hours?
Your Honor, we would waive any defects of service on the complaint.
All right. Do you wish to have the indictment read?
No, Your Honor, we would waive the reading of the indictment and enter a general not guilty plea.
All right. The court will note that Assistant Prosecuting Attorney King is present in the courtroom. And Mr. King, has the alleged victim of this indictment been notified of the time, place, purpose of this hearing, right to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, the representative is present in the courtroom today.
All right. Thank you. All right. Court will set first pre-trial for this matter for February the 21st at 2:30 p.m. Final pretrial will be set for March March the 20th at 2:30, and the trial will be set for April the 11th at 8 a.m. All right. Mr. King, does the state wish to be heard on the matter of bond?
Your Honor, only what is contained in the bond recommendation sheet, given the $15,000 bond, it's the same bond that was put in place in the court. That's all.
Well, let me back up. I thought this was a direct indictment, but this has been a bind over.
It was a bind over.
Has the defendant been incarcerated?
Yes, sir.
What's the, did you get me the grand jury sheet here?
Should be one.
Hold on a minute. Well, I don't see it.
Here's one.
It may be right here. Let me look.
I believe he was arrested on January 2nd.
All right, I may need to revisit that trial schedule. All right, here we go. All right. What's the arrest date?
According to my paper, it was January 2nd.
January the 2nd?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes, go ahead.
I'd like to address the issue of bond when it's...
Well, wait a minute. I'm going to go back and redo the hearing date, or the trial dates, because I actually hear now, according to this, there's a March 30 deadline for a speedy trial.
That's right.
So I'm going to we'll leave the February 21st trial, pre-trial on. Trial date will be set for March the 28th at 8 a.m. And final pretrial will be March the 13th at 2:30 p.m. All right. Now, Mr. King, does the alleged victim of the charge wish to be heard on the matter of bond?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Now, Ms. Furman, I'll hear from you on the matter of bond.
Thank you, Judge. On the matter of bond, speaking with my client earlier this week. He is currently doing some time in the county jail on a probation revocation that arose out of an older OVI case. However, at some point, he will finish his approximately 50 days that he's doing on that probation revocation. And at that time, I would like to ask that he be released on his own recognizance for the following reasons. Mr. Hibbs has a lack of a felony record, except for the one probation violation. He's been otherwise fully compliant with his terms of probation on his OVI charge. And I would like to note that Mr. Hibbs does have strong ties to the community. He has strong family support. He has 2 minor children that he needs to support. And he does have a job, Your Honor, that he's anxious to get back to so he can support his family. For all of those reasons, Your Honor, with the condition, of course, of a stay away from the prosecuting witness, I would ask that when his time is finished being served on his probation revocation, that you please release him on his own recognizance.
What is the date of that? How much time has he got?
I believe he has 32 or 33 days as of when I spoke with him on Tuesday, and he estimated he had another 20 or so days left.
All right.
Mr. Hibbs, is that correct?
I have about 55 days left to go, Your Honor.
55?
About, yeah,
Oh, okay.
maybe 54, something like that, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right. Well, that's kind of moot then, because he's going to be in jail anyway, because our trial date is sooner than that. But I'll note that according to my Ohio Court Network report that we generate for each indictment, he had a previous warrant for failure to appear on October the 1st of 18, apparently out of Wilmington. There's also a previous charge that was for a hit skip, which indicates a failure to stay at the scene of a crash. And given the nature of the charge, I don't think that a charge or that an OR bond would be sufficient to ensure the appearance as well as the protection of the public. So the court will set bond in this matter at $10,000 plus the OR, which is your promise to appear, Mr. Hibbs. And if you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced on that no matter what happens in this case. You'll also be required to pay a deposit of $116 for certain statutorily required fees. If you make bond, you'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department at 117 East Main Street. You'll report to them immediately upon release, and then once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing, provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer, have no contact with the alleged victim or any family member. If recommended by the probation department, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse and or mental health issues, and if any treatment's indicated, you're to enroll in and follow that during the pendency of the action. You'll also be under house arrest, and is your address 737 Northwest Street?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you'll be under a house arrest at 737 Northwest Street, apartment 204, meaning you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, going to and from any medical appointments, court proceedings, in this or any other case, appointment with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case, attend any kind of job training, schooling, educational programming of any sort, and church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. And if you fail to comply, that could result in your being taken into custody and held until further order of the court regarding the bond. All right, anything further from council?
Your Honor, one last thing. May I ask the name of the prosecutor assigned to this case?
May you what?
May I ask the name of the prosecutor assigned to this case? It was a little difficult for me to hear.
Well, it's Assistant Prosecutor King is here today. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. All right, this is case number 24 CR 12, State of Ohio versus Stuart McLaughlin. Are you Stuart McLaughlin appearing there from the jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. McLaughlin, you were indicted by the grand jury on Tuesday on 5 counts. Counts 1 and 2 are menacing by stalking, and they allege that on or about in count 1, May 1, 23 through December 27, 23, in this county, that you did by engaging in a pattern of conduct knowingly cause a person identified as V1 to believe that you would cause physical harm to V1 or a family or household member of V1, or cause mental distress to V1 or a family or household member of V1. And in committing the offense, you trespassed on the land or premises where V1 lives, is employed, or attends school. Violation of section 2903.211 A1B2. And then count 2 alleges the same language, same statute. Count 3 is assault on a peace officer, alleges on or about December 27, 2023 in this county. You did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to a V2, a peace officer as defined under ORC 2935.01. And that's assault on a police officer, a 4th-degree felony. Count 4 alleges breaking and entering, that on or about December 27, 2023, you did force, stealth, or deception, knowingly trespass in a detached garage, an unoccupied structure with purpose to commit therein a theft offense under ORC 2913.01 or a felony. And that is a 5th-degree felony. And then count 5 is a forfeiture specification, alleges on or about December 27, 2023 in this county, you had in your possession a Versa 380 MO5279 Ruger Newport 22 caliber with a serial number, and that's subject to forfeiture because it was used in the commission of an offense. The 4th-degree felonies carry a possible prison term between 6 and 18 months each, fine of $5,000. The 5th-degree felony carries a possible prison term of 6 to 12 months and a fine of $2,500, and a forfeiture specification would result in the loss of the firearm. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney to represent you in this matter, Mr. McLaughlin. If you don't have the funds to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. Did you fill out a, yes, here it is, financial disclosure form? All right. And everything on this form correct, Mr. McLaughlin?
I believe so, Your Honor.
When was the last time you were employed?
As of December 2023.
All right. All right, the court then will find that you're entitled to appointed counsel. I believe Ms. Witt represented you in the municipal court, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, I'll appoint Ms. Witt to represent you. Now, Mr. King, as have the alleged victims of the offenses been notified of the time, place, and purpose of this hearing, the right to be heard?
Yes, they have, Your Honor, and I'll refer to her at this time as B1. She is present in the courtroom today.
All right. In the absence of counsel, the court enters a not guilty plea on your behalf and appoints Ms. Witt to represent you. I didn't look at the calendar for Monday. Do we have anything going on Monday?
I don't think it's too bad.
Huh?
I don't think it's that much, Judge.
All right. We'll set a bond review on this case for Monday, February 12th. Oh wait, that's a holiday. February 13th. It has to be February 13th, Tuesday. No, that's not the holiday. It's the following week, isn't it? Yeah, February 12th. I'm a little ahead of myself. That'll be at 8:30. That'll be a Zoom hearing to review bond. That's required by law since I'm setting bail here at this arraignment without attorney present. All right, now this first pretrial then will be February 21 at 1:00 p.m. Final pretrial will be March 13 at 10 a.m. And trial will be set for March the 25th at 8 a.m. All right, now, the state wishes to be heard on the matter of bond.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The state would ask that the court propose the conditions requested in the bond recommendation sheet. We'll note that the $250,000 bond is the same bond that was put in place in Hillsborough before. The state feels that bond is appropriate given the nature of the pending charges and also necessary to ensure the defendant's appearance in future proceedings, as it is my understanding that he is from the state of Oregon. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Does the alleged victim V1 wish to be heard on the matter of bond?
No, sir.
All right. Well, for the time being, the court will set, I think that was $250,000, was that?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll set that bond, given the nature of these offenses, allegations. The court feels that it's necessary to make sure the protection of the public and the alleged victim. Plus NOR bond, which is your promise to appear, and if you fail to appear, then that could result in the filing of an additional charge and, if convicted, sentence on that, no matter what happens in this case. If you make bond, you'll be under pretrial supervision of Probation Department 117 East Main Street, and report to them upon release once a week, and thereafter, as they determine, undergo random drug testing, provide phone numbers for home cell employer, have no contact with alleged victim or family members. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse and or mental health issues. When any treatment's indicated, you enroll in and follow that during pendency of this action. And you'll also be under house arrest at your residence, which is 8623 Glen Rose Lane in Cincinnati, which means you would have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointments with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case. Also, you can attend any kind of schooling, job training, educational programming of any sort, or church services. Other than that, you have to be there all the time. If you fail to comply, then that could result in the court revoking that bond and having you held to further order of the court. All right, you have any questions, Mr. McLaughlin?
No question, Your Honor. I did want to make a clarification. I do have an attorney already paid for, Denny Kirk, representing me.
Oh, he does?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Has he been in contact with you?
Yes, Your Honor, he has.
All right, well, then we'll notify Mr. Kirk that you've been arraigned, because we did not hear from him. All right, but you have paid for him, and he is under contract?
Yes, Your Honor, he is.
All right. All right. I'll make a note of that then. And we'll notify him of the bail review hearing on Tuesday, or on Monday. All right, thank you. All right, Kaylee George, next, please. Was there another person that had an attorney? Or was that just that Hibbs was the only one?
We just hit.
Okay. All right, are you Kaylee F. George appearing there from the jail?
Yes.
All right, this is case number 24 CR 27, State of Ohio versus Kaylee F. George. Ms. George, you were indicted by the grand jury on Tuesday on 2 counts of trafficking of marijuana, 2 counts of possession. Counts 1 and 3 of the trafficking charges alleges in count 1 on or about March 17, 2023, in Highland County, Ohio, Levi O. George and you did knowingly sell or offer to sell marijuana, Schedule 1 controlled substance amount equal to or exceeding 200 grams with less than 1,000. Violation 2925.03A1. Count 3 alleges the same offense, except it's alleged to have occurred on March 30. And then counts 2 and 4 are allegations you possess those amounts on the same date. The trafficking are 4th-degree felonies, carrying a possible prison term between 6 and 18 months, fine $5,000, and a license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. And then the 5th-degree felonies carry a possible prison term of 6 to 12 months and a fine of $2,500 and a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney to represent you in this matter, and if you don't have the money to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And I see you have filled out a financial disclosure form, so you're requesting that the court appoint counsel for you?
What was that?
You're requesting that the court appoint counsel for you?
Yes.
All right. Court will appoint attorney Sarah Barger of Hillsborough, Ohio, to represent you.
That's my brother's attorney. Would that be conflict?
Oh, yes, it is. Who's your brother?
Chris Egan?
Who? Oh, okay. All right, well, then we can't have you, obviously.
That's not a code fit, Your Honor.
Well, has he got a case going? Apparently he's got a case going. Ms. Barger's representing him, so
Okay.
I don't know. Has he been charged too?
He was in on the icebreaker stuff.
Oh,
It's a totally unrelated matter to this
I don't know what's
case.
going on with him, but
okay. Well, and I'll appoint instead, I'll appoint attorney Dennis Kirk to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. According to what I have, Mr. King, the defendant has no prior felony record. Is that correct?
I don't have this file with me, Your
Yeah.
Honor, so I don't know.
All right, that's what I see. All right, from Ohio courts. So, going to go ahead and set your first pre-trial in this matter for Let's see. March the 20th at 1:30 p.m. Final pretrial will be April the 3rd at 1:30 p.m. If you have a cell phone and an email address, if you want to provide that to the officer there, we could do those by Zoom.
Okay.
Your trial will be set for May the 1st at 8 a.m. Going to release you on your own recognizance only, which is your promise to appear. If you fail to appear, then you could be prosecuted for an additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case, you'll be required to pay a deposit for service fees that are required by statute of $171 within 30 days. You're going to be under pretrial supervision of the probation department. So as soon as you're released from custody, you're to report to them at 117 East Main Street. Do you know where that's located uptown?
Yep.
Report to them. Be required to report to them once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing, provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues. If any treatment's indicated, you're to enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence at 6616 Park Lane, meaning you have to be there in Hillsborough, meaning you have to be there at all times, unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointment with an attorney. Be quiet while I'm talking, never interrupt me, ever. You two may go to any kind of court proceedings in this or any other case, or appointment with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case. You may attend any kind of schooling, job training, educational programming, classes of any sort, or church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. And if you fail to comply, then the court could revoke that and have you held till further order of the court. Now, we'll notify your attorney of his appointment. You can get his phone number there from the jail. Now, do you have a question?
Will I be able to take my son to his appointments?
Yes.
Okay.
You have just one child?
Yes.
All right. And son's, how old is he?
He's 1.
Okay. So any kind of medical appointments or anything of that nature, you can go take him to that. You'll have to notify the probation department in advance. They'll explain to you how that works. If you fail to go directly to and from any of those places, then again, that could be result in the revocation of the bond. All right. Thank you. All right, are you Larry Morris appearing there from the jail? All right, case number 24 CR 33, State of Ohio versus Larry Morris. This is an arraignment. Mr. Morris is appearing by video from the jail. All right, Mr. Morris, you were indicted on Tuesday by the grand jury on 3 counts of aggravated trafficking of methamphetamine, 3 counts of aggravated possession of methamphetamine. Count 1 alleges on or about August 15, 2023, in Highland County, Ohio, you knowingly sold or offered to sell methamphetamine, an amount exceeding bulk of less than 5 times bulk. Count 3 alleges the same offense occurred on August the 16th, and count 5 alleges the same offense occurred on August the 17th. Each of those is a third-degree felony, which if convicted carries a possible prison term between 9 and 36 months, and a fine of $10,000, and a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Counts 2, 4, and 6 are aggravated possession of methamphetamine, and alleges that on or about the dates in counts 1, 3, and 5, you possess the same amount of methamphetamine you allegedly sold in the odd number counts. And they are the same degree of felony with the same possible penalty. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney to represent you in this matter, and if you cannot afford to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And let's see. So you did fill out a financial disclosure form, and is everything on this form correct? You know, you don't have a mailing address listed there. Where's your residence?
It's 304 Highland Terrace.
304 Highland Terrace?
Yeah. There's 737 Highland Terrace, apartment 304.
37?
737,
737, not 304.
yes, excuse me. 737 Northwest Street.
North what?
Northwest,
Oh, okay, so we've moved streets then, a whole different place? 737 Northwest Street?
yes,
All right, and what's the apartment number?
304.
All right. When's the last time you were employed, Mr. Morris?
I'm on Social Security,
Are you on Social Security? All right. Is that SSI or SSD?
SSD.
All right. Well, you listed nothing for income, so how much are you getting a month on the SSD?
I just get food stamps every month, though I get right now.
You're not getting any money?
No,
Well, then how can you be on disability? You're not on any disability then, really?
no, not right now.
Okay. All right. That was painful. Now, have you been in court on this case previously? All right. Court will appoint attorney Jacob Wagner to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. And were you just picked up yesterday or Tuesday?
Monday, I think.
Oh, Monday? Okay. All right, in the absence of counsel, the court enters a not guilty plea on your behalf. Bond review will be set for Monday, February the 12th at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom.
Your Honor, if there's any recollection, I would have asked the court for some leniency on bond. I have in-state cirrhosis of the liver, and I've been out of hospital a lot. I have to go to the appointments a lot. I get the stomach pumped out of the water, and I have to have a tube stuck down my throat to see if my varicose veins are swelled, or if they need to be cauterized.
Okay, that has nothing to do with my trial date, so don't interrupt me again. When I'm ready to hear from you, I'll ask you if you have any comments, okay? Now, the first pretrial on this matter will be set for February the 21st at 1 o'clock. The final pretrial will be set for March 13th at 10 a.m. And the trial will be set for March the 28th at 8 a.m. All right, the court will set bond in this matter. I don't see a bond recommendation. Oh, here it is. $20,000 plus your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. And if you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony. And if convicted, sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case. If you do make bond, you'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department at 117 East Main Street. You'll report to them immediately upon release, and then once a week for 4 weeks after that as they determine. Undergo random drug testing, provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. Recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues. If any treatment's indicated, you enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. And you'll be under house arrest at your residence at 737 North West Street, apartment 304, meaning you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings, and this or any other case. Appointments with an attorney, probation officer in this or any other case. Intend any kind of job, training, educational programming of any sort or church. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply, then that bond could be revoked, and you could be held till further order of the court. Now, do you have any questions?
I was just trying to maybe see, get some leniency on my bond, because I have all these hospital things I had to go through with some reference to liquor.
Well, seeing as how you have a history of failure to appear, according to the report I have here in Brown County in 2022, and you have a very, well, actually there was one in May of 2004 in this, in Highland County, and you have an extensive criminal record. So the court, that's the bond. It will be reviewed with your attorney on Monday. All right, thank you. All right, are you Tara D. Ralph appearing there from the jail?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is case number 24-CR37, State of Ohio versus Tara Ralph. Ms. Ralph is appearing by video from the Justice Center. You were indicted on Tuesday, Ms. Ralph. Looks like a 26-count indictment. Count one is engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity, which is alleging that during a period of April 1 through August 1 of 2023 in this county, and also in Fayette County and Montgomery County as continuing course of conduct, that you and others that either have been or may not have been indicted engaged in, conducted or participated in the affairs of an enterprise through a pattern of corrupt activity. At least one of those was a felony of the first, second, or third degree. So that's a first-degree felony, which carries a prison term of between 3 and 11 years as a minimum, and a maximum of up to 1/2 of whatever sentence was imposed being added on. Then it goes on and looks like you are indicted on a number of other charges. I'm not going to go through and read all of those, but they're trafficking and fentanyl-related compound and possession, fourth-degree felonies, several of those. Trafficking in a fentanyl-related compound in the vicinity of a juvenile, that's count 6, that's a third-degree felony. Count 10 is the same allegation, that's a second-degree felony. Count 12 is a second-degree felony. Count 21 is a third-degree felony, and count 23 is a fourth-degree felony. Okay, all the rest of those are fourth-degree felonies, and there is one fifth-degree felony. I see there are possession, trafficking, and fentanyl-related compound, and count 25, first-degree felony. The first-degree felonies carry mandatory prison time of 3 to 11 years as a minimum, and the maximum of up to half being added on. The second-degree felonies carry a possible prison term of 2 to 8 years as a minimum, mandatory. So you're looking at really a lot of time, mandatory. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney, and if you don't have the money to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And I see you filled out a financial statement. You requested the court to appoint counsel for you.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're not employed? All right. Court will appoint attorney William Armentrout of Hillsborough, Ohio, to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. We will set a bail review hearing for you on Monday, the 12th at 8:30 a.m. That will be a Zoom hearing. When were you arrested? The 6th? Were you arrested Tuesday or Wednesday?
I've been in here since, I was already in jail when they served me my indictment.
For what?
I've been in here on a turn signal violation, failure to appear on a turn signal when I was Greenfield.
Oh, okay. Are you serving time for that?
Yeah, I go back to court actually on Monday for that also.
I'm sorry, what?
And on the 12th in Greenfield,
You go back to court on the 12th?
in Greenfield, yes, sir.
Okay, so you're charged with that, you haven't been convicted?
It was just a failure to appear on it, yes.
Okay. So you were just served with this indictment then on Tuesday?
Yes.
And the charge you're being held with before that was not related to this?
No.
All right. Okay, so first pretrial. Will be March 13th at 10 a.m. Final pretrial will be April the 3rd at 1 o'clock p.m. Trial will be set for May the 6th at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in the amount of $150,000 plus your promise, plus an OR, which is promise to appear. If you fail to appear, then you could be prosecuted for an additional felony if convicted, sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case. You'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department at 117 East Main Street in Hillsborough. You report to them immediately upon your release. Then once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing they may order, provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues, and if any treatment's indicated, you enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence at 413 4 Acre in Greenfield, which means that you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointments with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case. You can also attend any kind of educational programming, classes, GED, job training, anything of that nature, and church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to appear, then the court could revoke that bond and have you held till further order of the court. Do you have any questions, Ms. Ralph?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll notify your attorney, and we'll have a Zoom hearing Monday morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Along with a co-defendant on a charge of aggravated possession of methamphetamine, a third-degree felony. And that indictment alleges that on or about December 15th, 2023, that the two of you knowingly prepared for shipment, Count three. Count three alleges on or about December 15, 2023 in Highland County, Ohio, you and she knowingly had possession of methamphetamine in over bulk, less than 5 times bulk. That's a third-degree felony, which if convicted carries a possible prison term of 9 to 36 months, fine of $10,000, and a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney to represent you, and if you cannot afford to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And I see you did fill out a financial disclosure form. And is everything on that form correct?
Yes, sir.
When's the last time you were employed?
It's been over a year. I'm unemployed with my attorney that I'm taking care of, passed off.
All right, I don't have his indictment or his arraignment form for some reason. No, I don't see it. Robinson, you have it? Thank you. All right. Now, I believe that this case is bound over, and looks like your attorney was William Armentrout. All right. So the court will appoint Mr. Armentrout to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf.
Oh, what?
Not guilty, I'm entering a plea of not guilty for you. Now, according to my information, you were out on an OR bond. Why are you being held in jail?
All this happened before you hit me with the OR bond.
I didn't hit you with anything. I've just had you for the first time here. So don't tell me that I hit you with something. Now, I ask you a question, you answer my question. Why are you in, what is the charge you were being held on in jail before today?
It was,
When did, oh wait, let me try to make this simpler. You were released on this charge in the county court back in December on an OR bond, right?
yes.
What did you get arrested for to put you in jail?
It was, I failed my diversion program
Out of where?
out of county here.
All right, this case, in this court?
Yes.
All right, and when were you picked up on that?
I don't remember 100%.
Well, I mean,
It was last December.
no, you wouldn't have been in jail for that long.
No, I was only in here for a week
All right, why are you in jail now?
because I had an indictment and I come and turned myself in yesterday at Greenfield Police Station.
There's a warrant issued for him?
I don't know.
I think that they might have filed a direct charge in county court, and he was arrested on Monday.
Just the indictment come out yesterday and turned myself in.
And then,
No, he was indicted, he was bound over. Oh, you mean on a different charge?
I don't have this file with me, I don't know for sure, Your Honor, I know he had preliminaries OR.
Deputy, do you know why this man's being held in custody?
He was picked up yesterday, the indictments come out, he turned himself in at Greenfield Police Department and transported him over.
So he was picked up on the indictment in this case.
Correct. He turned himself in.
All right, there was a warrant issued. It shouldn't have been. The rule requires there to be a OR bond if there has been a previous release on OR. So, okay. So, all right. So the court is going to set your first pretrial for this case on March the 20th at 2:15 p.m. If you have a smartphone or a computer and you have the ability to do video hearings, give them your phone number and your email, and we could do that by Zoom. Your final pretrial will be April the 3rd at 2:15 p.m. And your trial will be May the 9th at 8 a.m. Now, since you were released on an OR originally on the bind over, the court is going to release you today on your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. And if you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced on that no matter what happens in this case. You're going to be required to pay a deposit of $171 within 30 days to the clerk to secure payment of certain statutorily required fees. You'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department at 117 East Main Street in Hillsborough. You're going to report to them as soon as you get out of jail today. Report to them once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing they may order. Provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. If you have an employer, if recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues. Any treatments indicated, you'll enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. You're not to have any contact with the co-defendant, Ms. Miller. You'll be under house arrest at your residence, meaning you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointments with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case. May also attend any educational classes, etc. You may also attend school or church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply with these conditions, then the court could revoke that bond and have you held till further order of the court. All right, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. Can you put me under house arrest at my brother's address? Because I
Well, do you have 245 Mirabeau as your address?
Yeah, but I can't reside there, she keeps me.
All right, so what address would you be at?
604 Baltimore Avenue.
All right. Okay, so that's the address you're to be at.
Yes.
Now, you report to to the probation department immediately. It's uptown here. You know where that's located?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then they're going to explain to you how this works. And if you don't comply with the pretrial order, then, like I said, I could revoke your OR bond and put you in jail and make you post a bond of some sort to secure your appearance in compliance with the pretrial order. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
God bless them.
As a general rule, unless they pick up some new charges
So
added to the original. All right. Case number 24 CR 35, State of Ohio versus Stephen Michael Willett. All right, now Mr. Willett, you were indicted by the grand jury on Tuesday in an 8-count indictment. And it alleges that in counts 1 and 3 and 5 of aggravated trafficking in a methamphetamine, and in count 7, trafficking in fentanyl-related compound. Count 1 allegedly occurred on or about March 27, 2023 in this county. Alleges you sold over a bulk amount of methamphetamine, but less than 5 times that bulk. Count 3 alleges the same thing on March 28th of last year, and count 5 alleges March 29th of the last year. Count 7 alleges on April the 6th of last year you sold fentanyl-related compound over 1 gram, less than 5 grams. And then the even number counts 2, 4, 6, and 8 allege on about the dates alleged, and the odd number counts you possess the amount allegedly sold. So it looks like first 6 counts are each third-degree felonies, which carry a possible prison term between 9 and 36 months, fine of $10,000, mandatory fine of $5,000, and a possible license suspension for 6 months to 5 years. Count 7 is a 4th-degree felony, carries a possible prison term between 6 and 18 months, a fine of $5,000, and a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. And then count 8 is a 5th-degree felony, which carries a possible term of 6 to 12 months, fine of $2,500, also a possible license suspension. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney. If you don't have the money to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. I see you have filled out a financial disclosure form. Is everything on this correct? And you're on disability, right? Pardon me? Oh, you're not on SSI? Oh, okay. When's the last time you worked? Okay. All right, the court then will find that you are entitled to counsel, and it looks like Mr. Kirk was appointed to represent you earlier. So the court will appoint him to represent you in this case and enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. We will set a bail review hearing for Monday, the 12th at 8:30 a.m. And when were you arrested? Monday?
I think Tuesday.
Tuesday? All right. Looks like you were picked up on something else then, and is it was on a different case?
I don't know.
All right. All right, the court will set your first pretrial for February the 21st at 1 o'clock. Final pretrial be March the 21st at 1 o'clock. Trial will be set for April the 11th at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in this case in the amount of $20,000 plus your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. And if you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony. You'll be required to pay a deposit for service fees prior to release of $171. If you make bond, you'll be under pretrial supervision, probation department, 117 East Main Street. You'll report to them immediately upon release, once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing they may order. Provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer if recommended by probation. You'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues, if any treatment's indicated. You roll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence. What is your residence, Mr. Willett?
332 Avenue.
3 what? 332 Linden Avenue in Greenfield. Means you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointments with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case. You can also attend any kind of educational programming, job training of any sort. You may also go to any appointments, to church services, and other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply, then the court could revoke that bond and have you held to further order of the court. We'll notify your attorney of his appointment, and I said we'll have the bail review hearing Monday morning. You have any questions? All right, thank you. Hey, Ben, you better go get the calendar. I'm talking to my bailiff, go ahead. All right, this is case number 24CR2, State of Ohio versus Tammy L. Miller. Are you Tammy L. Miller?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Miller, you were indicted by the grand jury on Tuesday on a charge of aggravated trafficking of methamphetamine and aggravated possession. The first count alleges that on or about December 15 of last year in this county, you knowingly prepared for shipment, shipped, transported, delivered, prepared for distribution methamphetamine over bulk amount when you knew that it was intended for sale or resale by either yourself or another. And then count 3 alleges on or about same date that you and Michael Kingsolver knowingly possessed that amount. Both of those are third-degree felonies, carry a possible prison term between 9 and 36 months, and fine of $10,000, and a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Count 2 alleges that you had in your possession on that date a 2008 Chevy SUV that was used to transport the methamphetamine from Dayton to Greenfield, and it's subject to forfeiture. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney, and if you do not have the funds to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And I see that you filled out a financial disclosure form. Is everything on this form correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're drawing SSI?
SSA.
SSA? That's a new one.
It's survivor's benefit.
Oh, survivor benefit, okay. All right. And Ms. Hapner, I believe, represented you originally in the lower court?
Yes.
So, okay, the court appoints her to represent you. In the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. All right, went from $100,000 bond to OR bond in the county court, all right? All right, so you're picked up on the warrant on the indictment in this case this week, is that right?
Yes, I've been under house arrest.
You're not being held on anything else?
No.
All right. Now, if the court enters a not guilty plea on your behalf in the absence of counsel, you have no prior felony record, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Court's going to set your first pretrial for March the 20th at 2:30 p.m. Final pretrial on April the 3rd at 2:30 p.m. And May the 4th will be your trial date at 8 a.m. The pretrials can be conducted by Zoom if you have an email and a computer or a smartphone that you can do Zoom conferences. Otherwise, you'll have to appear at the court, at the probation department. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance only, since that's what was done in the county court. And that is your promise to appear. And if you fail to appear, then you could be prosecuted for an additional felony, and if you were convicted and sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case. You'll also be required to pay a deposit to cover certain statutorily required fees of $171 within 30 days to the clerk. You'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department, which is located at 117 East Main Street in Hillsborough. It's uptown here, just down from the courthouse, across from the Flagway station. You report there as soon as you get out of jail. You'll be required to report to them once a week for 4 weeks. After that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing. Provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. Not to have any contact with your co-defendant, Mr. Kingsolver. And he's been ordered not to have any contact with you. And you're recommended by probation. You'll be evaluated for substance abuse and or mental health issues. And if any treatment's indicated, then you're to enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. And you'll also be under house arrest at your residence. I'm looking for your, oh, here it is. That's is that 230 4th Street?
No, it's 220
220. Is that North 4th or South 4th?
North.
220 North 4th Street in Greenfield, meaning you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings, in this or any other case. You can also attend any appointments with an attorney or probation officer, in this or any other case, attend any kind of job training, educational programming of any sort. You can also attend church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply, the court could revoke that bond and have you held till further order of the court. You have any questions? Have any questions?
Yeah, for, the grocery store, am I allowed to go there?
Yeah, business. You don't live with anyone else?
No.
All right, you can do your business affairs as well. That would include grocery shopping. But you have to go directly to and from those places. And the probation department will explain that too. All right, you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you. Looks like Aaron Smith is the next one. All right, are you Aaron Smith, appearing there from the jail?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is case number 24 CR 30, State of Ohio versus Aaron Smith. Smith, you were indicted on Tuesday by the grand jury on 2 counts of trafficking in heroin, 3 counts of trafficking in heroin, and 3 counts of possession of a fentanyl-related compound. Now, the trafficking charges allege that they occurred, count 1, on about March 29, 23, and that on that date you sold or offered to sell heroin over bulk, but less than 5 times bulk. Count 3 alleges on about March 31. The same thing occurred. Also in this county, March 5 alleges on April 4. The same thing occurred. And then counts 2, 4, and 6 allege that on or about those dates, in counts 1, 3, and 5, you knowingly possessed a fentanyl-related compound. So the even number counts 4, 1, 3, and odd number counts 1, 3, and 5 are 4th-degree felonies. Actually, all of them are 4th-degree felonies except count 2. And 4th-degree felony carries a possible prison term between 6 and 18 months, and a fine of $5,000, and a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney to represent you. If you don't have the funds to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And I believe you have filled out a financial statement. It says you're working for a Derek Eubanks.
Yes, sir. Fun Touch Payment Plus.
All right. And you're making about $1,200 a month?
A week.
A week? Oh, okay. Well, that would probably put you over the guidelines for appointed counsel, but since you don't have cash, I'll go ahead and appoint one for you, subject to repayment, if you continue to be employed. Now, were you arrested for this charge? Is that why you're in jail?
Yes, sir.
And have you had an attorney appointed for you in the county court yet?
No.
All right. When were you arrested? Tuesday?
Sunday.
Sunday? The 4th?
Yeah.
All right, the court appoints attorney Jacob Wagner of Hillsborough, Ohio, to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Set a bond review hearing for you on Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. Your first pre-trial will be set for February the 21st, 1 o'clock. Final pretrial, March the 20th, 1 o'clock. Trial date will be April the 8th, the 11th, at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in the amount of $5,000 plus your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. If you fail to appear, then you could be prosecuted for an additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced on that. No matter what happens in this case, you'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department, so if you do make bond, you must report to them at 117 East Main Street immediately upon release. And then once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing they may order, provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. If recommended by probation department, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse, for mental health issues, any treatments indicated, you're to enroll in and follow that. During the period of this action, you'll also be under house arrest at your residence at 228 Southeast Street, which means you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointments with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case. You can also attend any kind of job training, educational programming, classes, etc., or church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply, then the court can revoke that bond and have you held to further order of the court. Do you have any questions, Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Let's do that one thing, sir.
Okay.
Address correction. 228 South 8th Street.
Oh, South 8th Street? Okay, sorry. Didn't read your writing correctly.
Sorry about that.
Not a problem. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You want to give me that bond review? And since they're here, they can just, and Bill's here, they can just come in on the same invitation. Just bring him on in. So contact him. I'll just tell him. What's his name?
Christopher Valoni.
All right. All right, are you Harold Wilson Davis?
Yes, sir.
And I see on my warrant it says a third. The indictment doesn't have that. Are you a third? Okay. All right. You have his arraignment entry there? All right, case number 24 CR 36, State of Ohio versus Harold Wilson Davis. Mr. Davis is appearing from the jail. Mr. Davis, you were indicted on Tuesday by the grand jury on 3 counts of aggravated trafficking in methamphetamine in the vicinity of a school. As alleged in counts 1, 3, and 5. Count 1 allegedly occurred on or about April 24, 23 in Highland County, in which time it's alleged you knowingly sold or offered to sell methamphetamine over the bulk amount, less than 5 times the bulk amount in the vicinity of a school zone. Count 3 alleges the same thing occurred in this county on April 28th, and count 5 alleges the same thing occurred in this county July 12th. Then counts 2, 4, and 6 are aggravated possession of methamphetamine, which allege that you knowingly possessed those drugs on the dates alleged in trafficking in counts 1, 3, and 5. Now, the counts 1, 3, and 5 are all second-degree felonies, which carry a mandatory prison term of between 2 and 8 years, as ordered by the judge, with the possible extension of any sentence imposed by the judge of up to 1/2 by the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. Each of those have a fine available of up to $15,000 with a mandatory fine of $7,500 and a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. The even number of the counts are third-degree felonies carrying possible prison term between 9 and 36 months, a fine of up to $10,000 and a license suspension as well. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney in this matter, Mr. Davis, and if you do not have the money to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And let's see. Yeah, I see you did fill out a financial disclosure form. Is everything on this form correct?
Yes, sir. I get money from school.
I'm sorry?
I get money from going to college, but I didn't put that down.
Oh, that's fine. That's not really income. That's for educational expenses, so that's not an issue. Let's see here. Which page is he on, Ben? Oh, here I found it. Page 4, I think. All right, and when were you arrested, Mr. Davis? Monday? All right. You've not had an attorney previously appointed? All right. Okay, the court appoints Attorney William Armentrout to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, the court will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Mr. Armentrout happens to be here in court on another case that's going to be taken up here momentarily, so we'll go ahead and do the bail. And Mr. King is here on behalf of the state, so we'll go ahead and set bail in a moment, so we won't have to do a bond review on Monday. And I assume your client enters a plea of not guilty. So, Mr. Armentrout?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, for some reason, you were down quite a bit on the appointment list, so I had to catch you up there. So, it worked out just perfect. All right. Now, we'll set the first pretrial on this matter for February the 21st at 1:00 p.m. Final pretrial, March the 20th at 1:00 p.m. Trial will be set for April 11 at 8 a.m. All right, now, Mr. King, on behalf of the state, you wish to be heard on the matter bond.
Only what's contained in the bond recommendation sheet.
All right, and assume you don't have that file, so you don't know what that is, but it's $75,000 is the recommendation. All right, signed by Ms. Collins. Mr. Armentrout, you wish to address the matter bond?
I think, Your Honor, after I spoke with my client, I may have more relevant information than I have right now, which is none. I don't know if there's a prior record either to Mr. King at this point, or if there's any prior failures to appear, which the court will take into account.
All right, I have a court network printout. It looks like he has a prior felony conviction in 2006 for possession of cocaine, received a 3-year sentence. Trafficking in heroin in 2011, 12-month sentence. Possession of drugs, the same case, it looks like 10-month sentence. That was in 2004 in this court. And then actually the other one, the trafficking in heroin, looks like that was in 2011. 2014, looks like possession of heroin and trafficking in heroin in the vicinity of the school. All right. Court's going to set bond in the amount of $25,000 plus the own recognizance, which is your promise to appear, Mr. Davis. If you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case. You'll also be under pretrial supervision, or you'll be required to pay a deposit of $171 prior to release for statutory required fees. You'll be under pretrial supervision of the Probation Department, 117 East Main Street. You have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments. I'm sorry, let me back up. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was thinking ahead. You're under pretrial supervision of the Probation Department at 117 East Main Street. You're to report to them immediately after court, once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing, provide phone numbers for home, cell, employer, recommended by probation. You'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues. If any treatment's indicated, you'll enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. And you'll be under house arrest at your residence at 640 Lafayette Street in Greenfield, meaning you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings, in this or any other case. You can attend appointments with an attorney in this or any other case, attend any kind of educational programming, job training, etc. And church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. And if you fail to comply, then the court could revoke that bond and have you held to further order of the court. All right. Is there anything further from counsel?
No.
All right. Deputy, we sent you a separate invitation on Mr. All right, are you Christopher Geloni?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is case number 23 CR 232, State of Ohio versus Christopher Geloni. Mr. Geloni is appearing by Zoom from the jail. His attorney actually is in the courtroom, Mr. Armentrout, and along with Mr. King, the assistant prosecutor attorney. I've been doing arraignments here. The defendant is charged with retaliation, harassment with a bodily substance, and criminal damaging. And the matter is pending sentencing. The matter is set for sentencing on March the 13th. And there has been a motion filed asking for Mr. Geloni to be released for a treatment bed, and indicates he has a bed if available, or there's a bed available if he can be released. All right, Mr. Armentrout. Oh, first of all, Mr. King, has the victim of the offense been notified of the time, place, and purpose of this hearing, the right to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, both victims have been notified and have elected not to attend the hearing today.
All right. And do they have a position on the matter?
The victim in count 2 would have no objection to the defendant being released on an OR bond to attend treatment. The victim on count 3 indicated that she feels the defendant needs to spend more time in county jail before being released, and the state has no objection to the defendant being released to go to treatment.
And the state has?
No objection.
All right. Mr. Armentrout.
I appreciate the state's position. When we speak with Ms. Sturgill, she had to clean some stuff up. There was a holder on misdemeanor out of Clinton County, which they released their holder, but he's doing, I think, about 10 more days in the Hillsborough Municipal Court, and the court was not going along with an early release on this. I believe the expected date, if I'm correct, this is February 20th, I think, and I think Ms. Sturgill said she could have a bed
What day?
February 20th.
All right.
She would have a bed on that date or very near that. I don't know if she zoomed in now or not, but she could answer that better than myself. So we'd ask the court to consider releasing him. And it would be straight from jail to, I believe, the counseling center, on whatever date the bed is available.
Defendant has no prior felony then, correct?
That's
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right, the court, Mr. Geloni, is going to grant the motion that you can be released on your OR on the condition that you go to the treatment facility on or about February 20th after you get out of jail, after you're released on your municipal court case, but you'll be held in jail until a bed is available. Now, those are not lockdown facilities. It's a condition of your bond that you go there and you stay there. Now, they can't hold you, so if you walk away, you better come back to jail because you're still under the previous order. Because if you leave, then the OR bond's out. And if you walk away and don't come back, once you get caught, which you will, because we always catch up to people and never get away unless they die, it's highly improbable you're going to get community control. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. That'll be the order of the court. I'll put on the entry tomorrow, probably. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, are you Sheridan Delano Riffle? I don't have any volume there, officer. Could you turn that on? Where's the arraignment on the other case, Ben? 34. Okay.
Is that better, Your Honor?
Yes, I can hear you now. All right, are you Sharon Delano Riffle?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Riffle's appearing by video from the jail. Mr. Riffle, we have two indictments here, two separate cases. The first one is 24 CR 23, and in that case, you're charged with breaking and entering a fifth-degree felony alleging on or about June 8th of last year you knowingly trespassed in a business building with intent to commit a theft offense or a felony. And in count 2 is theft, alleges on or about that date you deprived the owner of a number of items of property without their consent. The first count is a fifth-degree felony, carries a possible term of incarceration of 6 to 12 months and a fine of $2,500. Second count's a misdemeanor, carries a possible 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine. And then in case number 24 CR 34, you're indicted on 2 counts of trafficking in fentanyl-related compound and 2 counts of possession. Counts 1 and 3 are the trafficking, alleges that occurred on about May the 2nd and May the 15th of last year in this county, at which time you allegedly sold or offered to sell fentanyl. Count 2 and 4 alleged on about the same dates, alleged in counts 1 and 3 you possessed those items. Count 3 is in the vicinity of a school zone. That is a 4th-degree felony. So the 3 fifth-degree felonies carry possible incarceration of 6 to 12 months, fine of $2,500, and the third count carries a possible prison term of 6 to 18 months, fine of $5,000, and all of them carry a possible life suspension of 6 months to 5 years. The state's represented by Assistant Prosecutor King, and Mr. King, in case number 24 CR 23, was the alleged victim notified of the time, place, and purpose of this hearing, the right to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, he's elected not to attend the hearing today.
All right. Now, Mr. Ripple, if you're entitled to have an attorney. If you cannot afford to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And I see that you have filled out a financial disclosure form. Is everything on that form correct?
Yes, I was in the middle of trying to get a job when they picked me up.
Okay, I asked you if it was correct. That's all I asked for you. So
Yes,
when I ask a question, be responsive, please. All right. Who was the attorney in the other case he just had?
Ms. Hacker.
All right. All right, the court then will appoint Catherine Hapner to represent you in this matter. And in the absence of counsel on her, not guilty plea on your behalf. We'll set a bond review hearing for you for Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. First pretrial will be set in each case for February the 21st at 1 o'clock p.m. Final pretrial will be set for March 20, 1 o'clock p.m. Trial in the 23 case will be set for April the 8th at 8 a.m. In 34 case, it'll be set for April the 11th at 8 a.m. Bond in case number 23 will be set at $2,500 plus your own recognizance and a $171 fee prior to release. And in case number 34, it'll be set at $5,000 plus OR and a deposit of $171 prior to release. And if you do make bond in these cases, it'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department. You'll report to them immediately upon your release. You'll be required to report to them once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing they may order. Provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse and mental health issues. When any treatment's indicated, you'll enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence, which means you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case. You can also attend any kind of job training, educational programming, classes of any sort. If you fail to comply with these conditions, then that bond could be revoked and you can be held until further order of the court. All right, we will notify your attorney of her appointment. And also in case number 23, I forgot to add, you're not to have any contact of any sort with the alleged victim. All right, do you have any questions? You have any questions? Can you hear me, officer? Oh, I was muted. I'm sorry, I muted myself earlier, forgot to unmute. So I'm appointed attorney Catherine Hapner to represent you. In case number 23, you have a bond hearing Monday morning, the 12th at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom. Your first pretrial in both cases is February 21st at 1. Final pretrial in each case is March 20th at 1. Trial date on the 23 case is April 8. On the 34 cases in April 11. And bond is set at $2,500 in the 23 case and $5,000 in the 34 case plus OR and a service deposit of $171. And if you do fail to appear under the OR bond, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony. You'll be under house arrest at the usual conditions that I had you on in your other case, which is report to probation immediately upon your release, once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, to go random drug testing, provide phone numbers for home, cell, employer, be under house arrest, and also have no contact with the alleged victim in case number 23. All right, do you have any questions, Mr. Riffle?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Now is that everybody? Yes. All right, thank you.